Let's talk about Kotlin's file structures and learn how to use packages. Kotlin's file extension is KT. A Kotlin file can have statements of a package, imports, classes, properties, functions, and commands. This picture is a simple Kotlin file. As you can see, there are one package and one import statement followed by a class block. This picture doesn't look different from any other Java files. You can omit a package statement if you don't need, and if you need, you can have only one package. You can omit import lines too, but if you need, you can have several imports. So far, again, it doesn't sound different from any other Java files. However, you'll find out some differences in Kotlin from now. In Kotlin, properties and functions are not necessarily a member of a class. What I mean by that is, as you can see the picture here, there are a package, one property, and two functions. But where's class? There's no class here. It must look quite odd for Java programmers, and Java will give you an error. It's because in Java, all variables and methods should be surrounded by a class. Like this case, these properties and functions are so-called top-level members. What the top-level member means is top-level members placed in the first level in a Kotlin file. Java doesn't have the term for a top level, but we try to say about the top level in Java. A class is only top level, and the top level class can have member variables and methods in Java. Let's see the next picture. There's a package followed by import statements, and properties and one function are declared as a top level and followed by a class, and so on and so forth. As you can see in Kotlin, we can have properties and functions as top level as well as a class. Then here's a question coming up. We already know Kotlin is 100% compatible with Java and is running on JVM. Then if the Kotlin coding structure is different from Java, what if there's no class declared, or there are top-level properties and functions out of a class? Isn't that making errors at runtime? Well, luckily no. There's no problem at all at runtime. Of course, you're right. We need all top-level properties and functions to be inside a class in order to run it on JVM. However, it's not your job to do. It's Kotlin's job to do. When Kotlin finds top-level properties or functions, Kotlin generates another class file containing the top-level members. Let's test it out. Let's see this file. Here's a package, one property, and one function here. And here's a class. And we have the main function to execute this file. As you can see down here, it works fine without no errors. By saying there's no errors, it means class files already have been generated. Let's see what happened in the output folder. Under the package folder, here's the class file that we declared with the name of some class. And for the top level properties and functions, there's another class file here. Because the file name is test.kt, the generated file name is the Kotlin file name followed by ktn.class. Now, let's talk about packages. Overall, Kotlin's packages are very similar to Java's packages. Generally speaking, a package is a physical group of files. And if you want to use functions or properties in other packages, you should import them. So far, it sounds exactly like in Java. But unlike Java, in Kotlin you can declare a package by a different name than the physical name. And also, you can rename the package name by alias. Another difference is you can import the properties or functions other than only classes. If properties and functions are declared as top level, you can import these top level members too. Plus, top level properties and functions are accessible from any other files in the same package without importing. That means top level properties and functions become global members in the package. So as long as the file is in the same package, it can use them without importing. That means, on the other hand, if you want to use some top-level members in different packages, you should import the top-level members to use them. Let's test it out. Here's the sample file that we used earlier. Let's add another file in the same folder. Let's hit the New menu and name it Test2. Now the package name is 1 by default, but you can change whatever you want. As you can see, these two files are physically in the same folder, but you can change the package name. Now these files are virtually in different packages. Let's add the main function. Again, these files are now in different packages. And let's add a class object. Let's add some class object here. As you can see, you import the class here. Like you imported classes, you can import top-level members too. In Java, you don't need to import classes in Java-lang package. In Kotlin, there are more packages imported by default. These are the packages that you don't need to import. This is it for file structure and packaging.